Спасибо, что пришли. Speaks Parasha. And Am Yisrael came out of Egypt. About a month later, the Torah tells us the food was finished. Says the Gemara. Actually, what happened when we left Egypt last week, the Torah tells us that Am Yisrael took along with them a little bit of leftover dough. Each one took his leftover dough. When they baked the matzot, they took it along with them. משארתם צרורות וסמלותם על שכמם. They collected the rest dough, leftover, put it inside a little bag or something similar, put it on the shoulder, then they left Egypt. Says the Gemara, Kadosh Baruch Hu, with his wisdom, baked it for them. And that became like matzah, like bread. And for the next 30 days, that's what they ate. Amazing. Talking about millions of people that left Egypt. And each one had its own dough. Some would have more, some would have less. It's not dough that people bought in the store. Men, ladies baked matzot, they made dough. And the leftover dough they took along. And then comes the Gemara and says for the next 30 days, the dough became bread and was sufficient for 31 meals. 61 meals, I'm sorry. 61, 30 days. Amazing. And all of a sudden, on the 15th day of Iyar, they all finished it together. Talking about millions of people. First one was enough for millions of people. Each one took a little bit in the morning, took a little bit in the afternoon. I had supper, I had dinner, I'm not hungry. What did you have? A little bit, a few crumbs from the dough, from the bread. And amazing that all of a sudden, they all don't have any more food. We come to Moshe, and they said to Moshe, listen, Moshe, remember we had meat in Egypt, we had bread in Egypt. Why are we going to die now here? Where is the bread? So, HaKadosh Baruch Hu came to Moshe, says the Torah, I told Moshe, okay, go tell them, I'm going to test you. If you're going to keep the mitzvot. Which mitzvah? I'm going to give you certain food, man, mina shamayim, lechem mina shamayim. For the next 40 years, almost 40 years, every day, they got up in the morning, was outside, man. Something round, says the Gemara. God, excuse me. They go outside, they collect, they come, they have what to eat. The next 40 years. But Hashem told Moshe, go tell them that this is a test. This is a test. If you keep the mitzvot, what do you mean a test? 27 days before, we stopped in a place it's called Mara. Over there was no water. 3 days after we left Egypt. And then Moshe Rabbeinu took a tree, threw it inside the water was bitter. Now after the tree went inside, became sweet. And Hashem did not say, I'm testing you, I'm testing you. It's not a test. This is a life bread. What do you mean you have nothing to eat? Nothing to eat is a test. Hashem wants to see if we're going to keep the Torah. And he's going to test us. He's going to test us. Comes the Torah and says, listen, HaKadosh Baruch Hu decided now this is the way you're going to have for the next 40 years. You like it, you don't like it. Every money you're going to have portion of man. It's going to be enough for you. And each one of you, doesn't matter if you weigh 50 pounds or 500 pounds, you can have the same measurement. Amazing. Can you imagine? Father has children. One is 5 years old, one is 40 years old. They all have to have the same amount of food. Who has such thing? Who had the babies? Babies, grown up, older people, overweight people, America's people, 500 pounds, 700 pounds, 800 pounds people. They're going to get the same portion. Hashem said, each one will go, and says the Gemara, look what happened. Some people went outside with small lunch bag, filled it up, they got home, put it on the table, expanded. For the measurement that Hashem wants you to have. You're not going to have more, you're not going to have less. He says, excuse me, I don't understand. Look at me. Baruch Hashem. Odo Boshko. I need food. Look at this guy next to me. Both the same. All the children, everybody the same. All Melagul Golem. How much is it? About 42 eggs. That's it. Can't have anything else from Hashem. No, you know what Hashem said? You're going to have it and you're going to enjoy it. Says the Gemara, well, people chewed on it and whatever they had in mind became tasty in the mouth. They wanted to have pizza, pizza. Ice cream, ice cream. Eshpelo, eshpelo. He says, why does Hashem do it? Hashem doesn't have to do it. That's what you have. Bagel and bagel and bagel. Okay? You don't like it? Go back to Egypt. No, it looks the same. And whatever I chew, whatever I think, while I'm chewing, I can have ice cream, I can have meat, I can have fish, I can have anything I want. Why did Hashem do it? And exactly the same measurement for everybody. There comes the Kadosh Baruch Hu and tells Moshe, listen, some restriction. First thing is, whatever you collect today, you got to finish. Don't leave from one day to the next. Why? What is the problem? Well, to see if you trust Hashem. You trust Hashem, I trust Hashem. I trust Hashem, so I left for the next day, I didn't finish it. No, cannot. Says the Gemara, some people left over, and then got spoiled, and worms and so on. And comes Hashem to Moshe, says, listen, Moshe, one more thing I want to tell you. Go tell them it's going to be Shabbat. Shabbat. Ayom Tintu Basadeh. Shabbat, you're not going to have it. Hashem decided on Shabbat not to give it to you. Why? Why not give it to you? Hashem does not want you on Shabbat to go outside. Shvu Yishtachtav. Says the Gemara, Moshe told them, I want you to stay home. Shabbat is not a day that you go collect things and go around. Stay home. Says the Gemara, from this Chachamim learn, Hashem does not want people to travel and to go outside of the territory that they live, about 4,000 feet. If there's no houses, you can't go. You live at the edge of the city, and to the next house you have 4,000 feet. You can't go on Shabbat to the next house. Where did Hashem say it? This is parasha. That's what Hashem wants me to do. I says, excuse me, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, 27 days ago, we had no water. And then HaKadosh Baruch Hu, with His mercy, gave us water. Okay? Now, Hashem, why didn't you tell me then that you don't want me to carry water? Why now? He says, don't carry the man. Don't carry this food outside on Shabbat. You can't do it. You have to keep Shabbat. So Kadosh Baruch Hu, excuse me, how about the water? That you gave me water 27 days ago. Well, the Gemara said Hashem hinted that he, in the Torah, Sham Sam L'chok Mishlat Sham Nisau, Hashem did tell Moshe, go tell them about the concept of Shabbat. But it's no restriction. There's no halachot of Shabbat. This week's parasha, the first time we find the halachot of Shabbat. Do not carry outside things. Do not walk away more than 4,000 feet from your house if there are no other houses around you. And then there's something else Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu, you should know, Friday, v'chinu et asher yabiu. מי שטרח בערב שבת יאכל בשבת. He says, please, Friday, you cook, prepare, שתפואפו, שתבשלו בשל. He says, tomorrow you're not going to have, Shabbat you're not going to have. Why not going to have? Why not going to have? Kadosh Baruch Hu, what is the problem if I get a FedEx? Says the Gemara, tzadikim, in front of the house, FedEx delivered. Man, didn't even to go outside. Okay? So, what's the problem? It rains on Shabbat. This came from Shamayim. Came from Shamayim. Fell inside my house. Listen, I also made a little room in front of the house, and the man came, like many. He says, can't take, no, it's not going to be there. No, Hashem doesn't want to give it to you. Hashem, what is the problem exactly? Is it raining on Shabbat? Yeah. When it's raining on Shabbat, can I stand outside and drink some rain? Yeah, why not? Why not? Why not? Who said you cannot? Why you shouldn't? Why don't you? Well, okay. Here Hashem came and said, listen, Shabbat I will not give you man. The next 40 years, Shabbat, Moadim, no man. Erev Chag, yes. Erev Shabbat, yes. Shabbat, no. So what is the problem? I don't want to give it to you. Why don't you give it to me? I want you to stay home. I stay home. Doesn't matter. I stay home. But why have to collect Friday 2 times? In order for me to have something on Shabbat. No, says the Torah that some people went, they had some leftover, and they spread it around on Shabbat, and some people came outside. And they said, well, there is man, Moshe is wrong, Moshe is a liar. Baruch Hashem, we have on Shabbat. At the time they came over there, the birds ate it, v'lo matzau. And then the Torah says, the Kadosh Baruch Hu told Moshe, how come you don't listen to me? How come you don't listen to me? All of you don't listen to me. What do you mean, Hashem? Some people did it. No, all of you don't listen. What do you mean I don't listen to you? 2 people went outside, few people, I don't know how many. People went outside. You know. All of you don't listen to me. You didn't. Why you went outside? It says when some people left something from one day to the next, it doesn't say in the Torah that Hashem told Moshe, how come they don't listen? Of course, Shabbat is important. Then comes the Gemara and says, you should know this is a very special thing. This man, people ate for 40 years, didn't have to go to the bathroom. This man had any taste in the world that you want to have. While you're eating it, whatever you thought, that's okay. Says the Gemara, more secrets about this thing. More secrets. Man used to be like a proof who owns what. Says the Gemara, for example, 2 people had an argument. It says they had slaves those days. So whoever had the slave, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when he went outside to collect man, when he came home, he had a special portion for his slave. Doesn't matter how much you collected outside. You collected outside, you went outside with a small bag, and you came home, you put it in the center of the table, it says it expanded, puffed. And how many people around the table? Measure. Exactly, each one will get the same portion for the day. If you have a slave, he's going to get it. Somebody comes and says, listen, this is my slave, you stole my slave. He said, I stole your slave? Yeah, it was mine. He said, okay, you know what? Make a test. Tomorrow morning I'll come to your house. You get the man outside, huh? Pour it on the table. How many people you have in your house? Children? How many wives? Children? Start to divide. Let's see if there's an extra portion left in the center for your slave. If it isn't, it means it's mine. Says the Gemara, huh? Look, the man is a proof. Who owns what? Says, why did Hashem do all these things? What's the secret behind it? Why Hashem writes it in the Torah? Today some Chachamim said, maybe didn't say it, maybe he didn't miss anything. Chachamim said to say Parashat Haman this Tuesday. Tuesday say Parashat Haman today. You know, read this. Segula, Parnasa. Parnasa. 40 years we had man from Shamayim. Person should hope. He doesn't have to go to work. It's going to be like rain inside his bedroom, inside his living room, through the roof. Diamonds, gold. He said, it's a segula. He says, you know what? You want to be rich? Tuesday, Parashat Beshalahh, say Parashat Haman. A lot of people do it. You know, in Torah Temed, every Friday night we make Kiddush. The sky and earth were completed. Simple explanation. Let's call it Vaychulu Hashamayim V'Aretz. Stand up. Says the Gemara, the Kiddush. Some Chachamim say, no, Kiddush is not so important. Our custom, stand up in the Kiddush. Vaychulu Hashamayim V'Aretz. Hold the wine in your hand. Hashem, you finish the world. The Tefillah, Vaychulu Hashamayim. After Lachash, Vaychulu Hashamayim 3 times. Vaychulu Hashamayim. Hashem finished everything on the 7th day. Vayishbot, the Bahus לא כל רסת. ויברך אלוקים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו. The text, what we say, Hashem blessed the 7th day, and Hashem made it holy. What? Hashem blessed it? What does it mean Hashem blessed it? Where did Hashem bless it? Vayikadesh oto. Hashem made him holy. Made Shabbat holy. What do you mean? You say to America, be specific. Explain to me what it means. Hashem made it holy? How? How Hashem made it holy? What does it mean he made it holy? He put Shabbat in mikveh? What do you mean he made it holy? How can you make Shabbat holy? Well, you can act Shabbat as it as a holy thing. Okay. The Torah says, HaKadosh Baruch Hu made Shabbat holy. How does that make it holy? Says the Gemara, that's the kavanah that you have at Kiddush. Vayivarech Elokim et Yom HaShvi'i, Hashem blessed Shabbat. How? When? This week's parasha. This is parasha. Hashem said Shabbat is being blessed. How? How? Well, Friday you're going to get 2 portions. It means, why Friday gets 2 portions? Because Shabbat is blessed. Okay. By Kadesh Oto, Hashem made it holy. What do you mean? This is parasha. Shabbat is holy. What do you mean? No man on Shabbat. That's the kavanah we should have in the Kiddush. That's crucial, the kavanah. It's not just to say, I said Kiddush. Wait. You said Kiddush on Shabbat? Men and ladies are obligated to hear Kiddush on Shabbat, Friday night. Midoraita. From Hashem. This is what you have to say. Mekadesh HaShabbat. What does it mean Mekadesh HaShabbat? What did you say Mekadesh HaShabbat? What does it mean? It means Hashem made Shabbat holy. It says when? When Hashem said Shabbat will not have man. Nothing will come from the sky on Shabbat. It's called Vayikadesh Oto. Says the Gemara, Bercho Baman, Kidsho Baman. Hashem blessed Shabbat with man. That Friday we got 2 portions, 1 for Shabbat. You see? Hashem blessed Shabbat. He said, what do you mean? See, Shabbat you didn't get anything. So what do you have what to eat? I said, no, I got Friday twice. Hashem bless Shabbat. Man, Hashem made Shabbat holy. How did Hashem did not bring Shabbat man to us? I said, okay, fine. I got it. He says, excuse me. That sentence, it's written in the Torah in Parashat Bereshit, the first Shabbat. So now you say the text, Vaycholu Hashemayim v'Haaretz. So where does it say? Where does it say? It says the first Friday, the first Shabbat. And you tell me, look, Hashem bless the Shabbat. Excuse me, what? Hashem bless Shabbat. What do you mean? Well, in a few thousand years, then Hashem is going to give us manna in the desert. Almost 25 years later. And then Hashem will bless the Shabbat. And then Hashem will make the Shabbat holy by not giving manna on Shabbat. What this has to do with the first Friday? For what? Why Hashem wrote this in the Torah, Vaycholu Hashemayim v'Haaretz? Hashem completed creation and blessed the Shabbat. Today Hashem blessed the Shabbat. Today he blessed it. When he's going to bless it? When? When we go out of Egypt, almost 2,500 years later. Then Hashem will make sure. I says, what Hashem wrote it already in Sefer Bereshit. You know a secret, Rabotai? Comes the Mishnah, comes the Gemara and tells us, you know, Friday afternoon, after sunset, Hashem made 10 things. So cold on the surface, Hashem was very busy. And certain things he decided to make the last minute before he closed shop. Says the Gemara, for example, tell me, I'll tell you, for example, it's the stick of Moshe Rabbeinu. The stick of Moshe Rabbeinu. Say, my hair, stick of Moshe Rabbeinu. Says the Gemara, for example, the sheep that Abraham Avinu slaughtered by Akedat Yitzchak, Hashem made it then. Says the Gemara, you know what? Man. Am Israel ate in the desert man daily. 40 years something came down and we ate it. It says, was it manufactured today when it came down? So no. You know what? Friday afternoon after sunset, before Shabbat started, it's called Ben Hashmashot, Hashem made man. How much? Enough for millions of people for 40 years. Can you imagine upstairs how much money made? Somebody's going to ask you, Am Israel ate man in the desert? He says, what happened? Hashem gave it. Hashem said, I'm going to give you man. He says, is it like rain? That you have clouds and it comes down? Hashem said, no, I have it in my storage. $1 the first day, and then it's for, give you credit card for this. Hashem made the man, the whole quantity, after the sunset on Friday afternoon. It says, what is after sunset? What does that mean exactly? And you should know that man that Hashem created Friday afternoon after sunset, that's Hashem will give it to us almost 2,500 years later. So what does Hashem have in mind? If we may say such a thing. What is the secret behind it? Comes the Gemara and says, first statement, you should know one thing. Moshe told them, Hashem told me to tell you that Shabbat morning you will not find it outside. Says the Gemara, Hayom, Moshe said, today you cannot. To tell you something else, that in Olam Haba we'll eat man. If somebody is going to ask us after Mashiach will come, what we're going to eat in Olam Haba? What? Eshpolo? No. Steak? No. Fish? No. What are you going to eat? Man. The secret of this parasha is not what happened in the desert. It's to tell us the future tense, says the Gemara. Says the Rambam, says the Gemara, you know what's going to happen in Olam Haba? You sit down and you enjoy yourself. And boy can eat. Doesn't say the Gemara. The Gemara says, you're not going to have any food. How am I going to survive? Else says the Gemara, let me tell you what it is. Lechem abiri machalish. The man is the fuel of a person. The same fuel that runs the angels in Shammai. When it comes down, it became like so-called round things, and we ate it. But when we ate it, it just gave us energy. It's not something that you say, oh, I'm so full that I have now to run 4 miles. The man is just energy. Concentrate energy. That energy drives the angels in Shammai. And that's what Hashem really gave us in the desert. You don't have to go shopping. You don't have to go to the bathroom. Straight energy inside your system. That there is no minimum, no maximum. It's a secret in the measurement. Omer la gulgolet. This is that everybody will have the same energy. It doesn't matter how tall you are, how big you are, how tiny you are. Doesn't matter. Energy. Energy, you get energy. All of us are equal. Omer la gulgolet, age, one thing. Like angels. An angel gets from HaKadosh Baruch Hu energy, he flies the whole world in one little move. His wings in the other side of the world. This is the secret, says the Gemara, you should know. Moshe told them Israel, Hashem is testing. Hashem is testing me. What do you mean Hashem is testing? Well, let me tell you something. You know, you came out of Egypt and you took some dough along with you. And that dough, surprisingly, was sufficient enough for 30 days. Amazing, huh? With all your children and everything, and the slaves that you had, everybody had little crumbs. Okay. Now Hashem made it to be finished for everybody in the same moment. They all got up in the morning, they say, oh, millions of people have nothing else to eat. And what did you eat yesterday? Well, we had some things that we took out of Egypt. It's amazing. You and your neighbor and your cousin and everybody else, you finished in the same moment. Yeah, it's a test from Hashem. Let me tell you something. Your plan is to get the Torah soon. And then after you get the Torah, you sit down and you enjoy life. You study and you learn. It's called Olam Haba. The next world, that's what you're going to do. Give me no business and no other nonsense. Just enjoy yourself with Torah. And we get to eat. You need tissues. You don't need no tissues, no food. Energy, the same like the angels. And all equal. It doesn't matter how much food you may consume, how big mixer you have in your stomach. Doesn't matter. Hashem will teach you, will train you now. That's your goal in life. Let me tell you something, says the Gemara. I want to teach you something, says the Gemara. You know, that man that you're going to have now, Hashem made after sunset. You know what? Because after sunset it's called twilight. Hashem is testing you. Hashem wants to know what you have in mind. Would you like to have energy or you like to have a stomach? That's it. What you want in lifetime? Ah, the food was so good, can I have another portion? Can you please pass me the Coca-Cola? Can you pass me another 5 pieces of steak and 7 pieces of pizza? Can I have some fries with a lot of oil and srog and harif and tahina and more salad? You have extra today? Anybody wants to give me? I need something. 5 eggs. The test from Hashem. If you think about Olam Haba, you eat because you need energy, says Shulchan Aruch. When you sit down and eat, says Shulchan Aruch, says the Gemara, I'm not eating because I want to enjoy myself. I'm eating to get energy. And the energy is to have pleasure from the Torah. And I go to work for this. I don't go to work to make money. I go to work to support myself. And my goal in life is to retire. And I retired, I enjoy the Torah that I'm going to study. Not playing hockey. That's the goal in life, says the Gemara. Says the Rambam, don't think for a second Mashiach will come and you're going to go and you're going to make a party, you're going to sit down and you drink and you eat. Right away you want to have the pleasure that Hashem, so-called, put away for you. That's the test, the big test. That Hashem made 10 things just before Shabbat came. Hashem said, okay, I'm going to manufacture man, I put it in my storages, let's see the people in 2,500 years about will come, and I will give it to them, what they're going to do. So what are you going to do for the next 40 years in the desert? You don't have any pressure of parnasah, no pressure of food. You get up in the morning, you have man. So there Hashem said, you know what? This is just a training when Mashiach will come. That's what I want you to know. Is go study. Go enjoy yourself. But this is the real pleasure. It's not that you ate something in a restaurant and then 3 days you were sick. And I'm going to sue the restaurant. I'm going to teach them a lesson. I'm going to put it on the net. Nobody's going to come anymore. Why did you go with them? Why did you go? You're supposed to have man. Supposed to have man. Parnasah. Yes, I need parnasah. Why? Because I want to feed my family. I want to feed myself. I want to live. For what do you live? Because I want to get to the time of Olam Haba. And here's the training. Hashem said, I'm going to test you. What are you going to do exactly? Tell me. You're going to jump outside and go collect the man. For what? To enjoy the man? Water energy. Says the Gemara, you know what? I want to tell you something. That's the whole test Hashem said to Moshe Rabbeinu. And Moshe told them, Israel, Kibu lifnei Hashem, come. Stand in front of Hashem, and Hashem appeared. And you see Hashem in front of you, the cloud. And what do you have in mind now? Pizza? Pizza when you see Hashem in front of you? That's what the Torah tells us. And that's what Hashem said, you know, Shabbat you will not have any man. Because Shabbat, I don't want you to work at all. Shabbat, I want you to sit down and enjoy. Because when Olam Haba will come, it's going to be like Shabbat. Training session. What Olam Haba is going to be? The way you do Shabbat for you. Don't walk around. Don't read newspapers. Don't talk about business. Enjoy Shabbat. How? Learn Torah, says the Gemara. Moshe made Am Israel study Torah on Shabbat in Egypt before we left. Because this is just 1/60th of the pleasure of Olam Haba Shabbat. That's what Hashem here now, this is Parashat tells us, listen, I'm going to give you man from Shamayim. Don't live from one day to the next. Because it's called energy program. It's not consuming food. It's like your telephone. Every night before you go to sleep, you charge it. It doesn't stay more. It's energy. Energy you don't put away. Energy you don't store. Energy you get. Man is energy. And look, all of you, from tomorrow you're going to have this energy. Surprisingly, all of you finished what you took out of Egypt. Surprisingly, all of you will go and collect outside, daily, every day. Man, you come home, you put it on the table, everybody will have the same exact measurement. All millions of people. Doesn't make a difference how old you are, how tall you are. It's a difference. It's energy. Energy means nothing. It's energy. Energy is good for everybody. And then you don't have to go to the bathroom for 40 years. Because it's energy. It's clean energy. And Hashem said, don't live from one day to the next. By the way, Hashem said, listen, Shabbat will not have. You know why? Because I want you to have a pleasure on Shabbat. When some people came outside and spread, and some people went outside, Hashem said, all of you don't listen to me, don't understand. I want you to keep Shabbat. Forget about it. Somebody said, you know this outside. Sir, yesterday, Friday, you got double portion. Why do you go outside? You don't collect more. You don't get more energy. Well, why did you go outside? Because you don't think about it as an energy. You don't think about Olam Haba. That's why Hashem was so upset. And this is the whole message of the Parnassah. It's not Tuesday, Parashat Beshalahh. You say Parashat Haman. Won't help you nothing. Parashat Haman is just to remind us that in the desert, Hashem did not want to give us man on Shabbat. He says, you know why? Because the first Shabbat, after Hashem finished all creation, just before Shabbat started, after sunset, he made the man. He manufactured man. He said, let's see if Am Yisrael will get the message one day. It's a twilight. It's a gray area. It's called Ben Hashmashot. Let's see if people really will eat nicely because they want to get energy or because they want to consume food. That's the testing life, says the Chazon Ish. That's the Ravad said. So the person does ta'anit, he doesn't eat. When supper comes after the ta'anit, he can swallow the plate. By mistake, he swallow the fork. Jump on the food. Says the Ravad, hold back, hold back, hold back. Hold back. Train yourself for Olam Haba. Train yourself to have pleasure from Torah only. Says the Rambam Sacham Ben Ezra, all the food harm people. All the sicknesses come from the food. Hashem made it. How can I get sick from it? I'm not talking about junk food. It says, with all the food Hashem made, all the food Hashem made causes you sicknesses. This is what is this? Because you don't eat it for energy. You don't eat L'Shem Shamayim. You eat because you love it. And you love it, doesn't give you the right energy in the system. If before you eat, you think, I eat it, says the Shulchan Aruch after they eat, to think like this, I eat it, I want to have energy. I want to have the strength to be able to sit and enjoy Torah. You're never going to get sick. Before we sit, we forget the whole thing. That's what Hashem said in the Torah. That's the biggest test, says the Chazon Ish. Sit down and eat. Biggest test. That's, look what happened to people. Nothing. Can't control it. Because this is the test of Olam Haba. That's what Hashem said. I'm going to test the people. How? On the table. Look how he eats. What does he think when he eats? How he behaves at the table. Does he say Divrei Torah at the table? Why does he say Divrei Torah at the table? You don't understand why? Because the purpose of feeding yourself is energy. And energy you need to study Torah. Says the Gemara, says the Mishnah, if you don't say Divrei Torah on the table, it's like you ate dead corpse. So what do you mean? Kosher food. I said, I don't understand. The food is just the matter of energy. Hashem will give you all the taste that you want in your mouth. Just for the purpose of energy. You're allowed to eat anything you wish, said the Gemara. But have in mind one thing, I eat L'Shem Shamayim. I eat because I need strength. To have the strength to study, to enjoy Torah, because that shows that I want Olam Haba. And that's why every Shabbat, this is Shabbat. On Shabbat, you say, Vayichulu HaShamayim, start the Shabbat. I say, what do you say to Hashem? Vayivarech Elokim et Yom HaShvi'i vayikadesh oto. God Almighty, you bless the Shabbat. How I blessed it? No, you blessed it because 2,500 years about after creation, you gave 2 portions on Friday, because one's for Shabbat. Like Haleshoto, he said, you're not going to give any man on Shabbat, because Hashem does not want you to work on Shabbat. Hashem wants you to have a pleasure on Shabbat. And this is the whole purpose of the Kiddush. Mekadesh HaShabbat. Hashem, Puvat Hashem. Shabbat me'en olam haba. Hashem doesn't care if you keep Shabbat. But if you don't keep Shabbat, it means you don't want olam haba. That's it. Hashem wants you to be in olam haba. So Hashem tested us with the man. You want olam haba, you don't want olam haba. He said, that's what it is. That's the amount of the money that you have, and this is you go outside, and Shabbat you're not going to have it, and sit at home. And don't go outside. Says the Gemara, you know, Avraham Avinu kept Shabbat. The Gemara says, you know what he kept Shabbat? He didn't go outside. Erevet Chumin. Says the Gemara, you know what? Erevet Avshilim. He prepared for Shabbat before. Olam Hazeh, says the Gemara, is a preparation for Olam Haba. Like Friday, prepares for Shabbat. That's the whole purpose of life. To prepare ourselves to be in Olam Haba, Amen.